All right guys, welcome back to another video. Today I got the day off work, had some snow. I figured it'd be a good time to jump into a review video I've wanted to do for a long time. This is the Initial Ascent frame and 8K backpack. I want to tell you a few things before we get started. I've had this pack for over a year now. I wanted to wait to do this review until I personally put this thing to the test, and I definitely did that last fall. So I had this pack on a spring bear hunt in Oregon, Montana archery elk, rifle elk in Idaho, rifle mule deer in Idaho, and then back to Montana for deer in November. So I've packed out 3 bulls and 4 bucks in this pack. Point being, I put this thing to the test, so this is a good unbiased review. The other thing I want to talk about is I bought this pack with my own money. The frame, the pack, the accessories, everything. Nobody's paying me to do this. I'm just doing this so I can hopefully help one of you guys make a more informed decision if you're in the market for a new backpack, and 2, because I like making content. So now let's get into the video. All right, so let's start with the lid. We'll go with the lid, the main bag, and then I'll take the bag off the frame, and we'll talk about the frame and some of the accessories. So the lid. Some would say, oh, it's just the lid. You know, what makes this lid so great? And I'm gonna tell you. This lid has some sewn in notches on the front side that slip in right over the top of the frame. I love that feature because when my pack isn't loaded down for 10 days and it's not sticking way up here, when the pack's loaded to about the frame height or below, this lid isn't gonna be flopping around all over the place. It's nice and secure. The straps aren't gonna come loose. My favorite way to run it when my pack isn't loaded super full is you pop this load lifter out of the top of the frame, just like that, simple. Take the notch, slip it over the frame, put the load lifter back in place, and what was that, a few seconds, and now the lid, it can't come off. I mean, it's there, and I love that. I can't stand it when the lid's flopping and it's loose and it's going everywhere. It just kind of drives me nuts. So you can do the same on the other side, but for this video, I'm just kind of trying to show you, quick and to the point. So let's take that load lifter out real quick. There's a few other features about this lid that I absolutely love. I guess how simple it is to remove. You got 1 strap on each side, and then you've got 1 buckle, or 2 buckles on the front, excuse me, that attach to the main bag. All right, so I love the size of this lid. It can be used for multiple things. You could put a puffy coat inside of the main pouch here. You could use it as a pillow. What I like to do is I love this big interior Velcro pocket that opens up right here. Half my arm fits in it. I love to put my game bags, boot dryer if it's a spring wet hunt, let's see, ground cloth, knives, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. My kill kit goes in here basically, okay? Close it up. And then there's a zipper pocket on the front of that I like to put my license in, car keys, stuff I don't want to lose for sure. There's a little clip in there, zip it up, done deal. And then I usually put like my essentials for the night when I'm back at my tent and it's bedtime, it's dark out. You can take the lid off your pack, put your pack up behind your sleeping pad, or you can leave it outside in a contractor's bag or whatever. And I bring the lid in with like my food, my spoon, my fire starter, my phone, and like a battery bank. So all my essentials for the night and the morning in this, and then my bag is just out of the way somewhere. So absolutely love this lid. All right, let's talk about the bag. So for me, one thing I did with this bag when I ordered it was I ordered the locking buckles. So the locking buckles operate pretty much as described. Once you tighten them down, they don't move. They're set. So when you strap a rifle to the pack, a tripod, camera with a big lens on it, whatever it is, they're not gonna move. You simply put your finger on the release button here and then they will adjust. But when you tighten them down, you can see they are set in place. So that's one feature that I personally like. Some guys don't, some guys do. You don't have to do that. It's just kind of personal preference. But anyway, so you've got 2 straps on the front. Obviously here, I'll show you real quick. I find myself strapping my my tripod with my camera body on here, or my spotting scope, or my rifle. That's kind of, or the bow, kind of go on the front. Let's get these 2 straps open. Okay, so First pocket you'll notice is a big horseshoe on the front. It's kind of a stretchy fabric, separate from the main bag. So this sits in front of the main bag. What I love about this pocket is it's huge. See, my whole arm fits in it almost. I find myself putting, like if we're struggling, if it's a hunt where, you know, water is gonna be hard to come by, I usually will put like 3 2-liter platypus bladders in the front. And I do that because when we're crossing a stream or a creek or whatever, a spring, I can easily get into my water and refill right away. I'm not digging in my whole main bag and all that good stuff. So I do that. If water is something that we can come by easily on a hunt, I usually put like my raincoat, my tarp, and like a puffy coat, quick access on the outside. Stuff I want to get to quickly, I usually put in that spot. So obviously, you know, you do what you do. You set your pack up how you want to set your pack up, but that's what I find myself doing the most with this big front pocket. So then of course you've got your roll top right here on this bag. This is the 8K. Some would say, man, that's pretty freaking big. Well, if you notice in the beginning of the video, this pack compresses down pretty damn small. I can take this pack on a day hunt. I'll show you that later, the day hunt setup. A 3-day hunt, 5-day hunt, 12-day hunt. This pack does it all. I will admit I did pick up some llamas. It's been a plan we've had for a couple years. We finally got some llamas. So I probably won't need this big pack anymore in the next couple years, but if you're a backpack hunter without stock, this is kind of like a one-stop shop. This pack does it all. So anyway, sorry to jump all over the place, but that's my theory behind getting the 8K. So you've got your roll top lid, which I'm a huge fan of. Keeps all the weather and debris out of your pack. Simple buckle, roll it all the way out, boom. You'll notice if you do have this pack loaded for 2 weeks or however long you're going, it does have an additional stabilization strap that's attached to the bag right above the frame. So this flap comes over the front with another buckle, boom, and you can suck that down so this load isn't gonna do this on you. You can bring this way in and you'll have some extra stability when the pack is loaded to the gills. So that's one sweet feature that I like. And then of course you have access to the main pouch from the top, which is pretty sweet as well. And then you've got a full length horseshoe, zipper. You can get into the whole bag right away, just like that. Super simple design. You can buy some accessory pouches if you want to be more organized. That's kind of a personal preference, but what I like to do is zip this horseshoe zipper all the way up when I'm loading my pack. And then I usually start with my sleeping bag, and I'll stand this thing up and I'll cram that sleeping bag without a stuff sack down into the bottom of the pack, and it fills that bottom void and all those air pockets up really well. And then from there I'll start putting in like my tent and my stove and that kind of stuff right through there. So that's just how I like to do it. Again, that's all, you know, personal preference. You kind of got to find what works best for you and your setup and what you find yourself kind of getting into and out of more often than not. So let's talk about the side pouches. So one side here is going to be on the left side of the bag. You have an outside stretchy pocket for Nalgene, gloves, whatever you want to put in there. It's nice and stretchy, you can see. And then you've got a long pocket that closes with a compression string here. I find myself putting my optics in there, obviously, or a big camera lens. And then on the other side, you have just one more stretchy pocket, and you have the 3 buckles here. So trekking poles, tent center pole, tripod, rifle, whatever works for you is the point. There's total modularity here with what you prefer. So that's kind of the nitty gritty of the pack. I'm gonna take the pack off the frame and show you some of those features and show you how quick you can get this pack off the frame. So simply, what I like to start with is remove the load lifters from the shoulder harness. See if we can time this here real quick. Then you just lift the pack up right off the frame. You've got 3 buckles on each side. 1, 2, that one's already undone. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm to my frame that quick. You'll notice though, I have the, I bought the Pannier accessory for the backpack, the whole setup, and I'll explain why here in a second. Let me remove this whole bag from the frame. This is just 2 straps. 1, 2, pack is off in no time. Okay, so let's talk about the Pannier attachment, I guess. The reason why I got this is because, let's say I kill an elk, right? I can go in, I can come out with my first load with my pack on, right? Leave this back at the truck, right? Just to shave some weight. The bag will sandwich the meat to the frame, no problem. Get my first load out. On my way back in for another load, I'm gonna leave my bag, my main bag, back at my truck or my camp. I could put my lid back on, boom, just like that. Now I have, you know, Garmin InReach, snacks, water filter, phone, battery bank, puffy coat can go in here. There's an outside pocket. I can put my puffy coat, raincoat in here, knife, anything I need for the day, I can put on this setup right here. Got my water bottle holder, got both my hip belt pockets. This setup right here makes a phenomenal day hunting setup, a shed hunting setup for the day. You're gonna go scouting, put some cameras out, plenty of room to put 4 or 5 cameras in here in the lid and in this pocket. And then of course it makes a great head in and get the last load of meat out setup as well. So yeah, anyway, that's like the main reason why I bought the Pannier, is just to kind of have that modularity. I think it was like $60 to add it on. So kind of a no-brainer to me, but anyway, the Pannier has a couple buckles here to just kind of strap things down. You've got a big pocket in the front that you can tighten up with another draw cord, compression string, lots of freaking straps. I mean, this thing, you can buckle the meat in it. It's not going anywhere. You've got 3 buckles on each side, so 6, and then 2 on the top. So 8 buckles to you know, lock your load in. It's just, it doesn't move. And that's one thing I love about this pack, is it holds heavy loads super well. I mean, you can just tell the frame is almost as wide as your back. It's a solid piece of carbon. It just handles weight really well. So anyway, get this Pannier connected real quick to show you guys some of the other features that are super awesome. So I'm gonna throw this thing on to show you kind of sizing. I currently have it set up. The shoulder harness is on the second from the top, adjustment wise, and I'm gonna show you how to do that here in a second. I'm 6'2", 200-ish pounds, just to kind of give you an idea. I wear a 34, 35-ish in Levi's. This pack, I have the small hip belt for sizing. I'll toss it on real quick so you can just kind of see how it fits me. Okay, so that's the small belt. You can see, I think I have a really good angle on the load lifter. Obviously I don't have any weight in the pack, but I've fitted this pack with obviously several different loads of meat coming out this fall, so fits me really well. I'm on the top end of the load lifter adjustment. You'll notice that there's 3 different notches, so if you're a shorter guy, you can lower that angle. If you're a taller guy, you can get as much lift out of that thing as possible. As far as the hip belt pockets go, I decided to go with a regular size on my right. So I usually will put like a can of chew in here, my release, things like that, some reeds, some calls. And then on the left side, I got the large hip belt pocket, which I really appreciate this one because some of the other packs I've ran in the past, it's a pain in the ass to get my phone in and out because the pocket's like just barely big enough for my phone. This pocket's the perfect size. My phone goes in and out, no struggles. So yeah, let's talk about the frame adjustment real quick and the shoulder harness adjustment. I'll show you how easy that is as well. So there's one Velcro strap on the front here. I'll take this Pannier bag off real quick. And then there's one more strap that goes through one of the 6 shoulder harness height adjustments. Okay, so simply all you gotta do is release that strap, and then you're gonna release the strap on the front of the pack. And your harness is free. Pops right off. Oh, sorry, I gotta take the load lifters off here too. Forgot that step. But the point of this is, as you can see, it's just seconds to adjust this. Shoulder harness is off. So obviously you're gonna wanna take the time, put 30 or 40 pounds of weight in this pack, and then adjust your shoulder harness to fit you perfectly. But the point is that there's adjustment all throughout this thing. You're gonna be able to make it fit you just right. I don't really have anything to add except for one last feature that is kind of silly, but I do enjoy this Nalgene holder. So a lot of the other packs I've ran, when you're loaded for 7-8 days and your pack's full, I find it in the past with other companies that it's a pain in the ass to get the Nalgene back in when the pack's loaded. For whatever reason, I think they just designed this to have a little bit more flexibility in it. I don't find myself struggling to get that back in where it belongs after I have a drink of water. I know that sounds kind of dumb, but it's super frustrating when you've been hiking for 6 or 7 hours, you're pounding water, you go to put it back and you can't get the damn thing back in there without taking your pack off or stopping one of your buddies to help you. So sounds kind of silly, but I definitely appreciate that. This pack is, I don't know, I just love it. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. If I'm gonna point out one quote unquote, maybe flaw you could say. Sorry, I got this thing all tore apart, but the load lifters, they have not broke on me yet. And like I said, I've packed out 7 animals with this thing. But the friction from the carbon rubbing on the fabric is starting to fray a little bit. So I would recommend, if you do get this pack, to grab another thing of load lifters just to carry in your lid. I think they're like $3. They might even give them to you for free. I don't know. I haven't asked them, but anyway. So other than that, love the pack. The back support is like right in the sweet spot. It's pretty stiff, so I don't find the load shifting on me. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys picked up some information from this video that's going to help you make a decision in the future. And yeah, I do have a little bit of an announcement to make. We have another hunt film coming out. It's a Montana mule deer hunt. Joseph and I headed over there in November and chased bucks for about a week, and we knocked a couple down. So that thing's gonna come out on February 16th at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you don't miss that one. It's a good video. And then I also wanted to remind you guys, maybe you don't even know this, but we do have a podcast. It's called Just Another Hunting Podcast. I think we're on episode 22 or 23 right now. So if you're like me and you do a lot of driving for work, I seem like I'm on the road like 3 or 4 hours a day. I always try to post these podcasts at like 5 a.m. on Monday morning so you can hop in your truck, head to work, and hopefully have something good to listen to take your mind off traffic or whatever it may be. So anyway, appreciate the support. We've got more of these coming, and we'll catch you on the next one.